Hey now, did you know that Zenitsu's surname Agatsuma literally means my wife?
NANI?!
Or that he was the first among our three beloved heroes to become a Hashira? Well, the second was not fully confirmed, though it was hinted in the final arc of the manga. But that aside, here's more than 50 confirmed Demon Slayer facts you probably never knew about. And trust me, a lot of them will literally blow your mind. For one, what does Demon Slayer have in common with Naruto Shippuden? Do you know? Well, it's nothing special actually. Giyu's Japanese and English voice actors both share the role of Sasori from Naruto Shippuden. And though it's not confirmed that Zenitsu was the first to make it to Hashira status, he is the only Demon Slayer to accomplish feats only the Hashiras have accomplished. For one, he created the 7th Thunder breathing form, a new original form in an already existing breathing style with multiple users. The only other person to have accomplished this feat is the Water Hashira Giyu. Also, Zenitsu is the only Demon Slayer to defeat an upper rank demon by himself. The only other Hashira who accomplished that in the entire anime is Muichiro the Mist Hashira. However, while Zenitsu ironically shines bright in battle accomplishments, my guy fails miserably in personal finance. Yes, Zenitsu has the highest recorded debt in all of the Demon Slayer Corps, which is estimated to be around 600,000 yen in modern currency. This massive amount of debt likely came from his 7 ex-girlfriends. Despite all of them being beautiful, they treated Zenitsu like a slave, tricked him and robbed him of his money as well. And with all that, Zenitsu never even got the chance to hold their hands, let alone get a smooch. So sad. Now I'm sure we're already off to a good start, cause I'm at least 90% certain you didn't know about Zenitsu's pile of debt or his 7 exes. Well, if you did, then did you know when Tanjiro lies, he can't keep a straight face to save his life? Well, that's actually common knowledge as well, but I bet you didn't know Akaza was the only demon of the 12 Kizuki who refused to eat or kill women. Well, you wouldn't know that unless you read the manga. He was given special permission to do so by Muzan, and that's like 9 facts down already. We're really off to a good start. Now, how many of these facts did you know about? Or better yet, why don't we make this a game? At the end of this video, why don't you tell us how many of these facts you knew about down in the comment section. Let's see just how much of a Demon Slayer fan you truly are. With that said, I guess it's time for us to pick up the pace, starting with some Inosuke facts. Inosuke used bears, boas and wolves as reference when creating the beast-breeding forms. He is hated by the uniform makers and the swordsmith of the Demon Slayer Corps because he always tears apart the top part of his uniform as well as chipping the swords the swordsmiths gave him with a rock right in front of their eyes. Inosuke's crow mostly stays hidden. This is because he almost ate the crow on 18 different occasions. Let's move on to some sword facts. Now, all of the Hashiras have the word Akimesatsu engraved on their weapons. This means destroyer of demons. The full translation of the Nichiren sword is Solar Blade. The name contains the kanji Nichi for sun and Rin for ring, which could translate to either sun ring or its most common meaning solar. Hence the translation as Solar Blade. The ore used to forge the swords are likely based off the Hihi Irokane, which literally means brilliant scarlet metal, a legendary metal of Japanese myth that shines brightly in a manner that it resembles flames or the sun. The metal is considered to be similar to other mythical ores such as the orichalcum of the Greek and Roman myths, and as such is said to have had high magical properties. Of the 9 Hashiras, only 4 of them use the standard Nichiren swords, and those are Rengoku, Giyu, Sanemi, and Muichiro. Next is some Hashira facts. Muichiro is one of the 2 people who became a Hashira only 2 months after picking up a sword, the other being Gyomei the Stone Hashira. He wears loose and oversized clothes in order to disorient his enemies, as they will not be able to see his limbs and joints moving so well. This is supposed to hinder their ability to predict Muichiro's movement. Also, he can't have pets because his crow would get jealous. He is the only known Hashira in the series to both overpower and kill an upper rank 12 Kizuki single-handedly. He is also the only known Hashira to be related to a demon in the 12 Kizuki. Tengen is one of the only known Demon Slayers and Hashira to retire due to being permanently disabled instead of death or old age. Now, in his initial design, Tengen was less muscular with a far thinner build, and he also had half of his face covered in bandages, making it hard for others to see what he looks like. He and Inosuke are the only known Demon Slayers who use 2 Nichiren swords instead of 1. Now, Tengen's family practices polygamy, so when someone turns 15, they must have 3 wives. The clan Head is the one who chooses the wives, but they always try to take chemistry into consideration when picking. Tengen had 8 siblings, making 9 children in total. 3 of his siblings died due to their father's overzealous training. The remaining 6 were then placed on death battles against each other while being masked. He only realized this fact after killing 2 of his brothers, which enraged him and caused him to have an argument about his father's stupid ideals. His remaining brother then killed 2 more of their siblings, leaving him and Tengen as the survivors. Tengen turned his blade away and left the clan with his wives. He would occasionally think of exterminating his entire clan, but he couldn't bring himself to kill his father and his brother. Mitsuri is the only known female demon slayer to unlock the Demon Slayer mark. She also has the biggest appetite of all the Hashiras. Mitsuri's mentor was Kyojiro. She derived her love breeding style from his flame breeding. A few of Mitsuri's attacks are named after cats due to the fact that she used to own a cat as a child. She and Gyomei enjoy talking about cats really often. Mitsuri's weapon resembles and may be based off of a South Indian weapon known as the Yurumi due to its flexible whip-like form. When putting her swords back into its sheath, she folds it multiple times and twirls it around due to its structure. Now Mitsuri has loved Obanai for a long time, though she was not able to confess to him earlier on as her trauma from her past marriage interviews really held her back. Gyomei is the only known Hashira who doesn't use a Nichiren sword, instead favoring a set of chained axes. Gyomei is blind, thus explaining the reason for the lack of pupils in his eyes. He was blinded due to a fever he had when he was still a child. Gyomei is the only known Hashira besides Muichiro and Shinobu to have a personal connection to an upper rank, that being the upper rank 6 Kaigaku. Kaigaku was one of the orphan children under Gyomei's care at the temple and would later on be directly responsible for the demon attack that resulted in the death of all the children except Sayu. In spite of his blindness, Gyomei has a keen sense of sight and was able to avoid malicious actions that some people around him did, such as trying to make him trip or throwing stuff at him. This made people around him call him a liar, stating that no blind person would be able to do what he does. Sanemi is the most feared Hashira among the Demon Slayer Corps. The Wind Hashira possesses an extremely rare and special type of blood. The smell of it alone can intoxicate demons and disrupt their senses and movement speed. He also shares the same listed height and weight as the Demon King Muzan. Obanai has the smallest appetite out of all the Hashira. He can go about 3 days without eating. His snake is called Kaburamaru, and Obanai considers him more of a friend than a pet. Due to his upbringing, Obanai developed a fear and hatred towards women. This only worsened after he saw the weak resolves of the female demon slayers. Mitsuri was implied to be the first and only woman he ever found to be beautiful. To top that, Obanai's meeting with Mitsuri was love at first sight. He was so dumbfounded that Kaburamaru also started to panic, which for some reason led to Kaburamaru biting Obanai. Now for some demon facts. Of all the demons and 12 Kizukis, Kokushibo is the only one considered to be a business partner by Muzan. Kokushibo has been challenged 3 times for his position. One of these battles involved Akaza, and while Kokushibo would usually absorb the demon he defeated, he let Akaza leave because he enjoyed the challenge. Oh, what a jolly old sport. Kokushibo once killed the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, and this caused the Corps to put extreme effort in hiding the residence of their future leaders. This event was also the one that led to the Kakushi being formed. The relationship between Yoriichi and Michikatsu parallels the mythology of the Shintokami Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi. Amaterasu being the sun goddess and Tsukuyomi being the moon god, hence Yoriichi possessing the sun breathing technique and Michikatsu, also known as Kokushibo, possessing the moon breathing technique. Zenitsu Senpai Kaigaku is the second known demon slayer to have become a demon, the first being Kokushibo. Now, for those who have asked previously, Muzan has stated in chapter 98 of the manga that Gyutaro was the true holder of the position of the upper rank 6, not Daki. Many of Akaza's attacks and techniques are named after fireworks, a reference to his promise to his fiancée Ekoyuki to see fireworks while he was still human. Despite his loyalty, Akaza never felt respect nor awe for Muzan. He only saw him as someone who gave orders and saw himself as someone who must obey.
Yes, sir.
Hantengo the cowardly liar lied about his name, age and background so much that he forgot about what his real name, age and background really is. And finally, for some other general trivia, the name of the breeding styles are very strict. For example, the flame-breathing Hononokokyu should never be referred to as the fire-breathing Hi-no-kokyu. The Ubuyashiki family are direct descendants of Muzan's original blood relative, who, due to the family having birthed the original demon, were cursed with an unknown, incurable, and untreatable recessive genetic disease that has killed each and every member of their family, both past and present, before they could reach the age of 30. Now, though the members of the Ubuyashiki family were known to die before the age of 30, Kagaya's son Kiriya had successfully lived a full life, even surviving to become the oldest living person in Japan by the modern era. This was due to the curse of the Ubuyashiki family being lifted after Muzan was defeated. And that's all of the facts this African gentleman could scrape up. Oh yeah, I'm Bozo Martin, and in case you couldn't figure out from my voice, I'm an African anime lover, hence the name The African Otaku. And I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you didn't forget about our little game. I can't wait to see your comments down in the comment section. Let's see how many of these facts you knew. That way we can see just how much of a Demon Slayer fan you truly are. If you'd like to know more about all the Hashiras or the 6 upper moons 7 under the Demon King Muzan, then watch the videos linked at the end of this one. With that said, thanks for watching, kindly leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.